So what I wanted to talk to you about today is how can you get out there and promote your club? What tools can you use even if you have no experience with anything? I don't know how to do any of that. We're going to talk about all of that. All of it, because it's really easy. How many people in here have never created a flyer that looks like a really kick-ass flyer? Okay. You can do that using this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That is PowerPoint. And if you don't have Microsoft Office,
The only thing I use.
there is a free tool called OpenOffice. It's made by a group of people. It's volunteers. Everybody contributes. And the PowerPoint equivalent is called Impress. Download the whole version, install it so you don't have to buy a license for Office, and you can create slides. Now, all of you should have received, did you all get the
Flyer made easy.
Flyers Made Easy? This only has a couple of the parts that have to be done to make it easy on you. The rest of it I'm going to talk about. You can write notes on the back. Flyers Made Easy is this. You open PowerPoint and you change its slide size to a letter size. Okay, so it's 8.5 by 11. You change the width and the length to 8.5 by 11.
What's it under design?
It's under design.
Go
So
to
step
design,
one is you
slide
go
size.
to PowerPoint, you just open it, okay? And I'm going to show you this. You go to design,
And then slide
over
size.
here to slide size,
Alright, slide size.
custom.
Custom, yeah, I did that.
Now you get this screen. It starts at widescreen,
Yeah.
find letter,
What's already in there?
letter paper, yes it is. Make your width, make it portrait so that the width is right. Increase the width to 8.5. And increase the height to 11. Now you have an 8.5 by 11 slide, and you click OK and watch. Oh, and then say maximize so you can use the whole space. And there you go. Now you have an 8.5 by
Are you
11
kidding me?
PowerPoint slide.
I love it.
Why do I use PowerPoint? Because I can take a picture and put text right on top of it.
Oh, it's so, yeah, I love PowerPoint.
Or I can put it off to the side. They are independent objects in PowerPoint. You don't have to worry about Word moving your picture over while you put text next to it or sizing it appropriately. Secondly, you can save this as a PDF. A PDF is a portable document format. I had to think for a second. And that document format can be read by anybody. But here's the best part. In my PowerPoint, in my Office suite, in my computer, I have downloaded thousands of fonts. So write this down because it's not on any resource document. It's called 1001fonts.com.
Is it the numeral? The numbers?
1001fonts.com. You can find all kinds of fonts. In fact, I'm going to show you this because this is very important. All kinds of fonts. Use them for free without license. You don't have to worry about it, but here's how you do that. There is a cute little thing on the top of it. It looks like a price tag right here. See, that's green. If it's green,
Where are you? Wait, so sorry.
oh, I am right here,
1001 fonts?
right there, 1001 fonts. This little price tag, it looks like a price tag if you make it bigger. See that? See the price tag? If you click on that, it only shows you free fonts. Free to use, free to abuse, free, totally free.
And there's
Now,
4,969.
now every font that you want is there. All kinds of them. display fonts, script fonts, grunge fonts, Halloween fonts. They have dripping fonts, all kinds. I was looking for something that I was doing a Merry Christmas poster, so I was looking for something, I wanted to see what Merry Christmas looked like in that font. So when you want something, you've got open house, and this is important, always type in upper and lowercase because some fonts don't have lowercase. And it'll show that they are missing letters. Let me see. So you can pick fonts. But now why is this important to use PowerPoint and save it to PDF? Because let's say I sent you my PowerPoint slide and you get it to your computer and you don't have the font I used. Guess what happens? Your whole flyer changes to whatever font is closest to that on that computer. Not what you want. You want them to be able to mail that flyer out, email it out, print it out, and look like you created it. So when you save your PowerPoint into a PDF format, it retains it as if it's an image. The fonts that are there are already there. They can't change them, but they don't have to have them on their computer. But if they like them, they go, where'd you get that font? I love that font. And they might ask you. Okay. So that's why PowerPoint is powerful. Let's say, for example, see these choices? I have headline, text, and display picked. If I want something else, handwritten. Okay, I want handwritten fonts. And now I've only got fonts that look like handwriting. Okay, so let's say I like this one called Key Virtue. I know I don't have that one, so I click the download button. It downloads what's called a compressed file. It's a zip file to your computer. Find a nice place for those to
Are
be.
these safe? Because I've heard fonts are a little.
They are safe as far as I know. And I know that this site, I've never had an issue with a font, ever. So that's,
So we hit download.
yeah,
It's gonna download a
download.
zip, or
I'm going
is
to
it
put
zip?
this in, is that fonts? Does that say fonts? No, it does not. I'm just going to put it in downloads. It's called Key Virtue. Pay attention to the name it's saving because sometimes it'll save it as some cryptic name. You can change the name here, but this is fine. Key Virtue is fine. Save. Now, in my browser, my download comes up here in this corner. In Chrome, it's down on the bottom. In Edge, it's down on the bottom. So you have to know where that is. But I open this up.
A few steps.
And I extract them to that directory. It'll just extract it. Now here's the font. Here's the little folder for it. Sometimes the font doesn't have a folder. Sometimes the font just comes up with one font name. Now look at the list. There's a license document. At the bottom is a picture of what that font looks like. Come on, you can do it. Actually, it's not a picture of the font, it's an ad. Okay, that's fine. Some of them are that way. But right here, there's an OTF file, keyvirtue.otf,
Right, OTF.
and there's another one called TTF.
Right.
I always install the OTF file because it usually has all of the features of that font. For example, if it's got bold and skinny and all of
OTF?
those. OTF has all of them.
Okay, so I see OTF. Well, how
So
do I
then you
install
double click on it.
OTF?
Yep. And you get this.
Yes.
I've started doing something with these. I print this. Because so far in Windows, there's no place to get to this screen except here. And I don't know why that is. But this is the font. And I have started a notebook that shows the printout of all these letters.
Got it.
Because then I can tell at a glance, oh yeah, I want to use that one. It's kind of a analog way of doing it.
Sure.
So I print it first and then I click install. And it just installs. And when it's done installing, that install button is now gray and that font is now available in my list of fonts in PowerPoint
And Word?
and Word
Okay,
and
so it's
Excel.
installed- it's installed.
Everywhere.
Okay.
In Adobe, it's available everywhere because it's inside your Windows program. Yeah, but sometimes if you use
yeah,
the wrong font,
key virtue is
you
that-
actually send the wrong message. If, let's say, for example,
Cool.
your font is distracting, the picture that you're using, if they don't match what you're doing, sometimes the flyer becomes busy and distracting. So you have to play with it.
Very cool.
So now,
Thanks for that. Thanks
that
for
font is chosen, and I can type open house.
Come to our fonts workshop.
Exactly. So the font now is in there.
Right.
Let's say I want this font on top of a picture of my group, my Toastmasters group. I want it to say open house at the bottom of all of us having a really good time. You can't do that unless you've got Photoshop or something big. You can do that in here.
Yeah.
You can insert a picture
Yep.
into the slide and put this font right on top of it because it doesn't care. Really, really handy.
Yeah.
Let me find Okay, I've picked that picture
Nice.
to be in this slide. This is new, this thing at the bottom that talks about alt text, it disappears after a few minutes. Okay. My words are behind it and I can't see them.
What happened to the words?
They're behind the picture.
Dear God.
So I'm going to move my picture out of the way,
You'll do the picture first.
and I'm going to
Or you
click
just send it
on
back.
this. Okay, I just moved the picture out of the way so I could see the fonts, but I don't have to do it that way. I could actually click on the picture, right-click on it, and send to back.
Yeah, PowerPoint.
It's back.
And now
PowerPoint is
Open
so
House is above that. It's on the page.
Oh, we gotta
on
give it
top
some-
of the
gotta give it
picture.
some color.
I know.
Maybe.
Now, my fun with this is sometimes picking the right color to go on this picture because some of them don't work. I think, oh, this looks good and red, and it disappears in that black asphalt. It doesn't work. Okay, two things. You're on the font screen. It shows in the front. Control A selects the font. It selects everything in that box. Now I can go up here and I can change the color. I'm just going to pick white so that it shows. But it's on top of the picture. So I don't have to worry about it. Now, because I moved this picture over, it's off the screen. I need to put that over here, back over here. Okay? Easy stuff. You can add fonts and text at the bottom. You can put lines in. You can put boxes in. You can put pictures of people in. You can shadow the pictures. There's so much you can do in this. This would be a 2-hour PowerPoint class if I let.
It's fantastic.
Fun. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
The other thing where I like PowerPoint, not only can you export it as a PDF, but you could also export it as a JPEG.
Yes.
And now you have your social media
Yes.
material. So
And
that's
now
what
we're
you
going to,
need. That's what I think would
that's a
be-
great segue because now we're going to talk about pictures. Okay.
This will be a tough-
Two things I want you to understand. When you go to Google and you go to images and you do a search for pictures, you get everybody's pictures. And some of those are not licensed for reuse, even for a nonprofit. Okay? This is how you find a picture that is licensed for reuse on any subject. Number one, I'm going to do a search. This is my general Google search for Santa Claus.
Right,
I now am going to look only for images,
right.
and I get all these, and I go, wow, look at that, I want to use that. Don't be tempted. This is not good for you. Getty Images owns, and Adobe Stock owns about 90% of these images. If they find out you're using it on your club website or somewhere, they will fine you, and it's expensive. So don't go there. This is important. Under Tools, it says Usage Rights. If you click that and say Labeled for Reuse, those pictures are up for grabs. You can
Wait,
use
hold on.
all of them.
I'm sorry. I don't
Tools?
find tools.
Yeah.
Tools is all the way on the right. Labeled for usage rights, labeled for reuse.
So that's it.
Pick
Usage rights.
labeled for reuse. That means the person who put that image up on wherever it
Labeled.
is has labeled it in the public domain. But this document right here is really better for you to get images than Google. There are 3 that I've listed here, but there are probably about 5 or 6 that I personally use to get all the pictures I use. That apple on the asphalt, I picked up from Pixabay, which is the second one on here. It is my go-to image company.
Pixabay?
Pixabay. They have millions of public domain pictures of every kind on every subject. I love them for that because they have everything I ever wanted. If I put in the right search, I get exactly what I want. Let's say your flyer is not going to be photographic. You don't want a photograph, you want a cartoon, because what you're doing is something that's more cartoon-like. For example, his wine and dine flyers are more line drawings.
Yes.
Cartoons work better with that. So if I were to look for, I go to Pixabay, there's this big search bar at the top. Let's say I want a cartoon. I can just put in cartoon and it'll send me every cartoon they have. But it starts with the most popular or the most current and gives me that. But let's say that's not what I want. I want a Santa Claus cartoon, or I want a house cartoon. Let's say I'm doing an open house. I put house in front of cartoon and do a search, and now I get cartoons of houses. Pay special attention to the top row. These up here are not free. This is an ad. Sponsored images is what it says. If you click on it, they're going to want your money. That's Shutterstock. That's how Pixabay makes their money. I'm happy with that. Everything below that is free.
Beautiful.
You can get Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest quality pictures without signing up for anything or having an account. But let's say you really want, let's say you're an author and you want a picture for your book. You can sign up for a free account. Now you can actually download the highest quality pictures available in that. So it's print quality. Really high quality. Let's say you're getting a cartoon that you really want the colors to pop, you really want the detail, you want your print flyer to come out exactly right. Sign up for a free account and then get your any level of picture you want. Because if you do it without signing up, let's say I wanted this guy. I like that guy.
Nice kid.
You click on the picture, it comes to the screen like this. It tells you who put it up. This particular one has thousands of pictures. Here's the free download button. Okay? I click on that and there are all my sizes. Now I am not signed in on this. I'm going to click on the largest quality.
1860?
Yeah, because this one, the vector graphic is actually the original way this was created. It's a completely different version, type. And I click on download. It says,
Sign up. Oh, gotcha.
please sign up to download that copy. Okay, so signing up is valuable. I don't know why.
Did you
I'm
forget your
I just signed
password,
up.
bud?
I think I changed it. I'm just going to sign in with Google, I think. Okay. It's not letting me. Okay, skip that. I'm just going to go back to Pixabay. Now, Pixabay has more than just photographs and illustrations. They have what's called vector art. If you are into graphic designs, vector art means you could take the pieces of that art apart. I could take the wings off the bumblebee. I could make the bumblebee's eyes go this way. I can change it, so that is kind of fun to do. However, if you are looking for something, there's a drop down on the right-hand side, and it tells you what it is. Photos, vector graphics, illustrations, or videos is new.
Oh, sweet.
So let's say you only want to get photos, and you want people having fun. And there you go. That's the result from what I typed in. The picture that's on the District 52 Facebook page came from Pixabay. I liked it so much because it was sort of a soft focus, everybody kind of exchanging laughter. I liked it because it looked friendly, and the title I wanted to go with had to do with being in a friendly environment, safe and friendly environment. So that's how that worked out. But I got it from here. Hours. My mother, who is 90-something, had a blog. She stopped doing that recently, but she spent hours on Pixabay, called me up to tell me, thank you for showing me Pixabay. I have got all the pictures I need for my blog. It's great. She signed up. She got blog pictures. Think of this, the picture size for Facebook doesn't need to be any bigger than the top one, 640 by something. It just has to be the smallest size. So let's say, for example, I want this picture. I click on 640, I click on download, and what pops up is Windows dialog box, where you're going to save this to. I always make a folder. I call it Pixabay, I call it open images, I call it free images. I have it named something so that I know that those pictures came from that entity and they're free for me to use. I don't have to guess. This one's called fashion. I didn't, but I wouldn't have looked for that. I might want to call it people. I want to put it in my pictures folder, and I will put it under Pixabay. That way I know where I got that picture. Now I have that picture, it's mine, I can use it for whatever I want. Anything, anytime. And I don't have to worry about going back and trying to figure out where I got it. And I did that for a long time. I would go get pictures and forget where I got them, and then also forget whether that was licensed for public domain. Now, public domain means it is a license that can be used for any purpose, even to make money. So, for example, if you're a writer, again, and you're putting a picture in your book, that picture can be used and the book resold because it's under that license. That's why I use sites like this.
Thank you.
Images for Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, all of them, Instagram, are best used if they're square. You can use rectangles, but a rectangle that's wider than it is tall, the sides get cut off, so you lose your effectiveness. If you start with an image that's square or square-like, you will be happier with the result in the long run. So for example, this is a 640 by 4 something, so it's wider than it is tall.
Right.
Now what do? I want it square, and I don't want somebody else to decide what's going to show. There is a free program, it's called View, and you can use it, but we're going to go a little bit easier than that. View, I think, is in here, hopefully.
So this, you're
Yes,
talking about
Photo Tools. It's a free photo editor. It will allow you to size this picture or crop it to your liking, and it's pretty easy.
And you were recommending
View, very, very good program. So here's that picture, that wide one, right? It's too wide. This one's going to be a little harder to square up.
Did you just open View?
I opened View.
Excuse me, I'll keep going.
Now, there is no obviousness to this program. And I had to learn this, but I've been using it for a long time. If you take your arrow and you put it on the picture, hold the left mouse button and drag that, it crops the picture. See?
Yeah.
It's doing that. Now, I've got it as kind of a square. I just wing that. And let's see. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. If, let's say I just want the guy, okay? And I do edit, crop selection. There I have it. I only have the guy. So now this is narrower, so it's going to fit on my Facebook post. Now, I'm going to put that in PowerPoint, draw words on it, and post that on Facebook. Because I can save it as a JPEG. Okay? So far, you haven't spent a dime on graphics tools, and you didn't have to go take this picture, and you didn't have to create the font. You have all the tools to create something fairly quickly for your club, really quickly. You know, look at this picture. You can probably think of 1,000 statements that you could make about this picture.
Life is for living.
But do you find yourself looking down when you meet a stranger?
Oh, I see.
See? You can use the pictures because they evoke emotions that you want to transmit to your audience when you are giving them something on your Facebook page or your email or wherever you want to do it. You can use these. Those pictures will send a message to you. Use that message to write over the top of this in PowerPoint and create your JPEG. Okay?
Very good.
This program is very powerful. There's a big instruction sheet that is on their site, but it's in there for you to go check. Okay? Okay. There are 4 really powerful social media sites. If you're not on social media and you're doing just flyers and stuff, this probably will be more information than you need. But for today, remember when I asked who uses a newspaper, who uses a magazine? We use these guys.
Yes, exactly.
Everybody in the world that is using one of these can get to one of these 4 sites to get their news, their information, their notifications, the things they're interested in. How many people in here shop online? Yeah,
Shop what?
shop
Online.
online. If you were trying to get better at something, wouldn't you do a Google search on that? Even on your phone or your computer? How would you like it if your club name came up when somebody Googled public speaking? How many people in this room know how that happens?
I was going on.
I'm going to tell you the secret of the internet.
Hey.
I'm sitting in Panorama City right now. If I Google search something like roller skating shops, because I'm looking for roller skates, am I going to get a search that sends me to Santa Monica?
No.
Or Ohio? No. I'm going to get Van Nuys, Panorama City, if there are. Google reads your IP address, the address your computer is using on the internet. It uses that to send you somewhere local. They believe in local shopping. So they send you to that. Then there are companies like Amazon, Walgreens, Walmart, Sears, that pay to have theirs come to the top of the list. But you're getting local information. So if I'm a Toastmasters club, and we tested this and it proved it to be true, and I do a lot of social media posts, and in every social media post I put the city that I am residing in 3 days, Google will start returning my social media, my website, my information to a person sitting in the city that I have named in my social media. We went from being nowhere to be found on social media to the first page as a club. When people typed in public speaking, they found us. They didn't have to know what our name was. We came up on the first page twice, second page twice, third page once. We were there all over the place. And it didn't take very long.
Wait, what did you? Yeah.
Yes.
Can we make it happen again?
If you do Google searches for your, let's say you're in Panorama City right now. If you did a Google search on public speaking, what do you see? Do you see Toastmasters clubs? Or do you see Carnegie Speaking School or some college that's teaching a public speaking class? In Santa Clarita, if you're sitting in Santa Clarita right now, you do public speaking, you're going to come up with Daybreak. Not the 7 other clubs that are in Santa Clarita, Daybreak.
Why? Because I'm their VPR.
That's right. She's our VPBR, and we've been posting social media for the last 5 years, at
2
least.
years at least.
Well, yeah, but we started this when she and I joined Daybreak, and they had, count them, 4 active members. On the books, they probably had 7, but they were under 8. That club became President's Distinguished that same year because we gained members. And we gained members by people seeing us online when they were searching for public speaking courses or they knew about Toastmasters. They didn't know what Daybreak was. We were found on social media because we put it out there.
How did you make it happen? I still don't.
By putting the city name in to the social media post. Every post that we put up, you always have to have information. You're on Twitter, you write some little dialogue. You're on Pinterest, you write some little dialogue. You're on Facebook, you write dialogue.
So the city's within the post, so
Yes.
the comment.
In the dialogue.
In the post.
Not necessarily on the picture, but the background information, the stuff that's underneath, the captions, the text. It's very important that your club's city be part of your posting. That's the secret
I
to
like
being
that.
found. If you have a club like Daybreak, Daybreak's the name of the club. We meet at Daybreak. We meet at 7 a.m. It applies. But we are actually called Daybreak Santa Clarita Toastmasters. It's in the name. Okay? Your city name is probably tantamount to gold as far as Google searching.
Yes.
Can you change your club name? Yes. Does it take a vote? Yes. Who has to vote? Your members. Your board can decide, oh, we want to change the name. You bring it before your members, and then they help you decide whether that's something they want to happen. Okay? We have some pretty cuckoo names in District 52. I had to look one up. It's called 333G. What the heck is that? It's a street address and a suite. It's Wells Fargo, but it doesn't say Wells Fargo. They don't have to worry, they're a corporate club. But if I were a corporate club, I'd still have my corporate name in it because people working in Wells Fargo might want to know if there's a Wells Fargo Toastmasters Club. And it doesn't come up really fast unless you know what you're looking for. Okay. Getting Toasty is one of those clubs that has a name that doesn't include the city.
That's right.
It also doesn't say Toastmasters, right?
No.
Getting Toasty doesn't mean Toastmasters. Who knows what that means? It could mean a spa. I don't know. But it doesn't say Toastmasters in the name and it doesn't have the city name. It's very, very important for you to understand that for every Facebook post, you know, our club just had a great open house, blah, 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 in Sherman Oaks, Toastmasters. Toastmasters in Sherman Oaks club called Getting Toasty just had an open house. Use it in a sentence, make it legitimate, okay? Add hashtags that include Sherman Oaks, Toastmasters, public speaking, anything like that that applies to who you are.
But it
Okay,
came-
2 things, brand new, Instagram now allows you to put pictures up from your computer. Very, very classy.
But I
You're
want-
talking about multiple.
I mean,
pictures.
Facebook does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not Instagram.
Well, actually, Instagram never allowed use of a computer to post pictures. Now, because Facebook owns Instagram, there's something called the Creator Studio. And if you go to Facebook and you look up Creator Studio, it opens the Creator Studio and you can add pictures and text. Very, very important. How many people want to read through a list this long of hashtags on a post?
Nobody.
Guess
Right.
where you put those 30 tags?
And a comment.
In the comments. You post your Instagram post with 2 or 3 hashtags.
But does it give it the
You
same
put the other
Instagram
20.
juice?
Oh yes, the other 27
I
in the
don't know
comments,
about that.
and they do produce growth.
You can also just hit enter a lot and then.
It's the same.
put 'em
When
at
it
the
ends
bottom.
up on other social media sites, it will end up with all those hashtags, and people go, I don't want that.
Well, they just.
It's all business, I don't want that. Put your hashtags in the comments and it'll get you the traffic without the mess. The most powerful social media site on the planet is still Pinterest.
Really?
Say that again?
The most powerful social media site on the web right now,
Really?
It says,
Pinterest. Why? Because posts, it's like a Sears catalog. If I'm shopping for something, Pinterest shows
Yes,
up.
definitely, for shopping, yes.
Make sure your club has a Pinterest site. Make sure you post to it. Make sure you share to it from your Facebook and your Instagram and whatnot, because those posts stay up there for a very long time. Twitter, 15, 20 seconds, it's gone. Instagram, it's gone.
couple days.
Facebook, it's not even there longer than 24 hours most of the time. And with Facebook, unless you're interacting with people, you're not even going to see that feed. If you're not interested in Toastmasters public speaking or clubs, you're not going to see those feeds. I have comments come to me, how come I didn't see the District 52 feed? Well, how many times have you stopped and looked at it? Facebook has an algorithm that tells them how long you stay on anything on any page. It's also tied to Instagram as well. So if you stay on something and you read the text, they pay attention to that. And they know that that's something interesting to you, and suddenly you'll start seeing more of those. In this order, these are the important ones. Pinterest is the most powerful because it stays around longer and people shop there. Make sure that you're also using your hashtags there. So if you're if you're sharing something in Pinterest, you get an opportunity to edit those comments, edit that text. If you edit it, you can put all kinds of stuff in there. You can write a mini blog. What happened in this picture? Why do I want you to look at it? People read it, they stay, then they save it to their pins. It's very powerful. Second on the list is Instagram. Why? More demographics use it than others. It's another catalog of photographs and events, etc. Facebook, very powerful for Toastmasters clubs. Put every meeting up as an event on Facebook. Create an event.
Wow.
You're having a meeting, create an event. Put pictures up. I had a person in officer training last term saying we can't use pictures of our club members on our Facebook page. Great. Use some cute animal. Go to Pixabay and pick a dog or a puppy or something that people will look at. There was a sad puppy picture we used for a flyer that went out 2 years ago about people renewing dues. We miss you, and it's a sad puppy. Utilize animals to your benefit for your posts because they will attract people. Look at the statistics of what you post. Every one of these social media sites has a stats thing. You can see how many people looked at it, what they looked at. So Instagram, Facebook, last but not least is Twitter. Now, why is that? What does Twitter do for you? Does anybody on it for any reason? Yeah, what do you get out of it?
A lot of political opinion.
Okay. You know what I use it for? My mother calls. There's smoke. I can see smoke. From my window, I can see smoke. I don't know what's going on. I go, fire in Canoga Park. Mom, there's a fire at Winnetka and Roscoe. You don't need to worry about it. It's too far away to worry about, but you'll probably hear sirens, and it'll probably be going on for a long time. You know what she did? She walked outside. She talked to her neighbors, and she became the point of contact for that information.
Of course.
She didn't know where I got it. I use Twitter for news. I use Twitter to find out what's going on. I feel an earthquake, I go on Twitter and find out how strong it was and where it was, because it's almost instantaneous. Somebody's on their phone posting on Twitter events. So Twitter's a news place. Use it because people look at it. But don't count on it for promotion. Count on things like Instagram, Facebook events, Facebook posts of what you did at your club. If you did a congratulatory meeting, you have a picture of somebody earning it, post that on Facebook, and then what do you do with it? every VPPR in District 52 has the right to get on the District 52 page and become what I call an editor. That makes your feed go right in the center. It's not in the visitor feed off to the right, it's in the center, it's in the main feed.
Thank you.
I do not have enough of you posting. So send me your email. If you're on Facebook, send me your email. I will add you in as an editor. So when you post to District 52's page, it comes up in the middle where it belongs.
Thank you.
Okay? I have very few rules. One is, don't sell me anything. 2, don't use any posts that have to do with something non-Toastmasters. That's it. If you start posting stuff that's non-Toastmasters, I take you out as editor. You go over here in the visitor section. Okay? It's very, very targeted. It's much more controlled, but it is much better for you, for your club. You want a Toastmasters group? Create one. But it's not the District 52's idea. We want District 52 to be clean and professional because we are. Yes, because it was faster. There is much, much more to the connection between Instagram and Facebook than I had time to talk to you about. And there is this really cool tool that's actually in your resources guide called IFTTT. That's a class in itself. You sign up for IFTTT as one of your, as a person for your club, or if you've got Instagram for your club, and then you start connecting the dots. You can post on Instagram and it goes to Facebook. You can post on Instagram and it'll go to Facebook and Twitter at the same time. It'll go to Pinterest. One post goes everywhere. That saves you time and effort. So that's a cool tool, but it's very complex and it's a whole training thing. And I will do a webinar on it, I promise. It's just not today. If you have questions I didn't answer, and there's plenty of them, if there's something you want to know that maybe I said and didn't make clear, let me know. I'm available. I love answering questions. I will bring more of these specific things out in webinars because I think it's important. But the bottom line is, get your word out there. Put your club out on these social media sites. Add your city, add your club name to the post. Make it conversational. Let's say you find every day all you see is Maurice on Facebook. That's all you see.
Damn it, I've been working.
But you have a post that you want his audience to see. Inside the post, you put a nice little @ symbol and you start typing Maurice, and his name comes up. Now you can add that. You can say, hey Maurice, guess what we're doing at Getting Toasty? See, he gets notified that he's on that. He'll come and comment and say hi. That really gets that engagement going. I appreciate every single one of you spending
Well,
your
thank you.
time and I really appreciate all your questions about Club Central. That was phenomenal because that tells me that you're really interested in the details about where the club is and the business of the club. So appreciate that. Thank you.